Ora and Aroha from New Zealand. I'm working on a different medium today, spelled Gouache, but pronounced as gouache. I start drawing a circle and making shapes within. You could use these shapes to make funny animals, birds, people, or just leave them as shapes. I'll talk about gouache in this video and I'll compare it to watercolors, but in no way I'm recommending one over the other. I love my watercolors and will not stop doing them. So this is just helping you to see what differences I see between the two mediums, and I would encourage you also to check for yourself, buy a few of them and check and see how you feel about them. I now do patterns of hair on these shapes, but I may not do the rest of the features. I'll just use the gouache to paint them and show you how I use them. I like the matte finish of gouache, and if you use it thick, you can get away using it on any paper like sketchbook paper or mixed media paper. If you want to make gouache lighter, you can add white gouache color to it or a little bit of water to it. This is a set of the gouache colors that I use. I'll make a list of the supplies that I used in this video in the description box below. I add a little water and make it a bit more flowy, but to some paints I add white gouache. When you paint in watercolors, you go from light to dark and build on the layers, whereas it doesn't matter in gouache how you go about painting it. That's why I like it, because you can correct your mistakes too by adding another layer once the previous layer dries up. And talking about drying, the drying time also is different between the two mediums. Gouache dries faster than watercolors. Watercolors, you have to ensure that unless you want the colors to deliberately mix, you have to ensure that the first layer is completely dry before you start the second layer. Blending in gouache is not bad. You can blend it easily, but I prefer blending in watercolors more because it just goes with the flow, and it just gives you an organic feel when you blend watercolors, whereas gouache doesn't have that much of a flow. Watercolors have a beautiful translucent finish, and in watercolors you use the white of the paper to give more appearance of light. And as you see the drawing here also, you can get the same effect. In gouache too, you can see white gives the effect of light on the paper. So in that sense, I think both are same. The only difference is gouache has a opaque finish compared to watercolors having a translucent finish. If you're visiting my channel for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by, and I do hope you watched the previous videos of mine. And to those who have been here before, thank you so much for stopping by again. I really appreciate the support that you have shown me so far. The aim of my videos is to create art daily, even if it is for a short period of time, 10 to 15 minutes, but just to get into a flow of it. So I hope you have been inspired to do that, and if you're here for the first time and you watch my other videos, I hope you also start the practice of creating art daily. It's sometimes not necessarily doing only paintings or drawings. You can do anything, but it's just practicing an art and or creativity and making it a daily practice. I actually like the lights showing in between the shapes, the white portions compared to the yellow portions. But if I had to do it next time, I would leave it blank. I have done quite a few of these drawings in different ways, just leaving them blank and some putting shades of colors in between. But I wanted to apply more of gouache today and show you how it works. Another thing is I would do the hair portions later if I do it another time, because the hair is mixing with the yellow color, a bit smudging in places, and I would avoid that if I was doing it again. You can actually see how thick I'm applying the gouache here, so I've hardly used much water in it at all. I deliberately leave one face blank just to show the light in between. You can leave a couple of them, or if not, you can just color all of them, but just to show you the difference of what the light effect creates. If you watched my previous videos, the one that is listed above, if you can click on it and go to that video, I use textures. This is a Starbucks coffee cup holder, and the insides of it, I just put some paint over it, and then I use textures on the backgrounds. Now this I've put some water in the gouache and showing you, and when I lifted the paper, it is not seeping, but it buckles through. And now I'm going to show you how the thick gouache is. So you see here the paper is not being affected at all. So that particular this particular layer I'm putting is thick gouache without any water in it. Or if you want, you can put just a slight bit of water, because sometimes with a thick layer of gouache you can't paint very easily. So that's it for today, and I'm just showing you previous watercolors and faces that I did. That's one, and this is another one. So you can do anything, try or explore doing different things. And thank you so much for staying and watching this video. I hope to see you soon. Enjoy.